Hi, and welcome to the WebRTC Insights, to the release notes review that we're now doing. Let's see what we have this time. And we're now with M96, which is rolling out. We've seen the release notes coming in Discuss WebRTC from the Google team, and we have Philip here to actually go and review them with us. So, Philip, to you.
So today we have the rollout date, which means from today, Chrome 96 is going to roll out gradually, first like 5, 10%, and then increasing to 20, 40, 80, and 100% over the course of, it used to be a week, but with a new release cycle, it might be less. The interesting thing is that this is an extended support release, so they're keeping M96 fresh and merge security fixes a bit longer than they used to do in the past.
Probably for the enterprises that want to stay with a set release more than 1 month.
Exactly.
Okay. So to the main question, is this from WebRTC perspective more of a features release or more on the stability side?
We have one big feature, which is audio redundancy, but other than that, it's mostly stability.
Okay. So let's go to the release itself. What are the things that our users, our readers should investigate with this new release?
Well, the first thing is audio redundancy, which is a feature I shipped over the last 1.5 years. There are 2 WebRTC hacks posts on it, so you can investigate it. It's basically a trade-off. You spend more bandwidth on audio, and then you get more reliability from it.
For something like this, for example, it would be very useful because while we might care about the video, if you can't hear us, that would be even worse.
Yes.
And video would take huge amounts of bandwidth anyway compared to audio.
Yes, and that spends like 30, 40 kilobits per second more on audio, which is something you can afford if you send megabits per second of video.
Okay. So this is something that if people are using media servers, they should go and check if the media servers support that, and if not, try to add that and integrate that.
Yes, and then test it, which is the hard part.
Yeah, always.
Yes. The next thing is candidate pair stats for the ICE candidates. It's nice to see that in WebRTC internals. There's going to be an improvement for that in M97 in the next release. And it might be that it changes how you look at stats in your product.
And this SATP, which we've been, I don't know, for the last half year, we've been reporting on that in WebRTC Insights coming in. It's now being tested, or it's now being introduced officially into the release.
Yes, they're maybe rolling it out to stable even.
Okay, so for those using data channels, this should be critical to actually go and test.
Yes. And the last thing is a new RTP header extension, the absolute capture time extension. It has been in the works for quite a while, but it's now done. And the purpose is a bit unclear. It will give you a timestamp, but it's not clear even where it's exposed. Maybe it's on the Get Contributing Sources API. So you should check that if you're interested in audio.
Okay. Moving on, things to be aware of from this release.
Yes, Plan B will throw. That's what the release notes say. But when you actually talk to the people, they will gradually start throwing for Plan B. So it's not like it starts to throw today for 100% of 96 users.
But
otherwise,
otherwise,
for a while.
I guess that our, let's say, warm suggestion is just go and use Unified Plan now because that's where Google are putting their efforts, and that's where you should be as well.
Yes, even though I still think the Unified Plan implementation isn't ready, but that's just me.
Okay. And then there's the set codec preferences.
Yes, if you use set codec preferences with audio and video together, there was a payload type collision. So you had the same RTP payload type assigned to 2 different things. One was a comfort noise variant, and the other was a video codec.
Okay.
And this stuff has been a big problem for a while, but nobody uses set codec preferences apparently, so nobody
Okay.
noticed.
And then what are the things that you need to disregard from this release?
Yes, the issue about encountering a raw pointer. We all know raw pointers in C++ are dangerous, but it's not really relevant to anything product related.
Okay.
The failure to add the video regime is something that you might have seen in the logs, and if you have seen that in the logs and are using a fork of WebRTC, cherry pick that change. Otherwise,
Ignore.
it doesn't have much impact.
Okay.
And last but not least, the pipewire things have been improved again. So it means screen capture on Linux got better, which is great, but it wasn't done by Google.
Okay. So I guess that's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next release of Chrome.